All right, YouTube, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are jumping into Bradley Beal to Boston, the topic everyone's talking about right now. We're going to jump into his highlights, give some reactions, but I got 2 points I want to touch upon by the end of this video. And first off, how realistic is it for Bradley Beal to become a Boston Celtic for next season? And then second, is he a good fit? I know it's the sexy name. I know he's a stud scorer, an absolute bucket, but would he fit on this team? We're going to answer those 2 questions, at least from my point of view in today's video. But before we jump into some of his highlights, make sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, comment down below if you would want Bradley Beal in Boston. I'm sure a lot of you guys are going to say yes, but there's plenty of people out there that are thinking, yeah, you know what? He's not a great fit, which we're going to touch on towards the end of the video. But let's jump into the highlights here. Make sure that like and subscribe button, guys. We're approaching 11,000 subscribers. I cannot thank you guys enough, but here we go. Starting it off with a drive against Boston. Josh Richardson covering him. I mean, like I said, Bradley Beal is a bucket. Woo, look at that. Look at his feet on this. His feet are all over the place, right? And all of a sudden he gets the hoop. Nice, calm, cool, collected. Floater alert. He is a bucket. I mean, there's no denying that. He's longer than you think. We see that here as he gets up here. He scores on Bogdanovich. I mean, Trae Young, not long. He's going to look long next time, but still. Longer wingspan, and it's great to see that, you know, when he had his opportunity in Washington once, you know, John Wall kept getting injured, so on and so forth, Bradley Beal was like, nah, let me become a superstar. So shout out to him. Speaking of shout out to Maximilian for the highlights here. We'll watch a couple more, and then I got those 2 points that I do want to touch upon here. Here we go, little ISO ball right by the defense, and jams it on John Collins. Oh my goodness, look at that. He watches him too. Ready? He's like, hey, I'm looking at you, John. I'm looking at you, John. Bang. I mean, there is no doubt Bradley Beal is an absolute bucket. Like, if you're denying that at this point, you are, I don't know, blind, dumb, whatever it is. I don't think anyone's going to deny that. But how realistic is it for him to get to the Celtics this season? And I think I'm in the minority on this one. I don't think it's very realistic. 2 things. I feel like Bradley Beal may be dumb to decline his option with Washington. I know that, you know, they're a little bit lackluster of a team, but they had a couple stretches last year where they played well. He has a great friend on the team in KCP. I just don't see if Bradley Beal, you know, if it's the easy money bag. I think it's worth $36.5 million. Very easy money bag, money grab that he can have, and then, you know, wherever he wants to go next season after that year, he can go to. So I feel like unless he's absolutely, you know, malcontent there, he hates it, doesn't want to be there, which I don't know if we totally saw. Yes, we saw him kind of, you know, sulking and whatnot at times last season, but unless he's absolutely done with Washington, which he might be, do not get me wrong, I don't see him absolutely, you know, just actually declining his player option. It's 1 season. I could totally see him being like, you know what, let me stick it out for 1 season, then just hit the open market. Because the way that he has to get to the Celtics right now, money-wise, would probably be a sign and trade, and you're looking at maybe Al Horford and, I don't know, Grant Williams, a pick, who knows what, right? It's kind of the muddy path to get there. So in terms of realisticness, is that the word? Realisticness? I don't know, I'm dumb. In terms of that, it's like, that is the hard path to go down, and, you know, both teams are going to have to really work something out, because Bradley Beal, the one thing about a sign and trade, I guess you can kind of force the other team to have no leverage, your team, I guess, because if Bradley Beal says, no, I want to go to Boston, get it done, I'm going to be absolutely terrible for you this year, you got to make it happen, you lose all your leverage, and it is kind of the muddy way to go about it. So maybe a scale of 1 to 10, how realistic is Bradley Beal to Boston this offseason? I'm going to put it like a 3.8 maybe. Not very realistic in my mind. Now, Bradley Beal to Boston overall, I think that, you know, in a year's time after this upcoming season, they can easily figure out the money and easily figure out how to get Bradley Beal. I just think a lot of things need to happen in order to get Bradley Beal to Boston this offseason. Obviously, he needs to opt out. He needs to make sure the Wizards are willing to sign and trade him, make sure the Celtics have their finances in order, everything like that. Now, I do think it could be more realistic once he's just a flat-out free agent. And the Celtics maybe have a year to figure out their finances, but as of right now, there's not much wiggle room, at least from, you know, the money dumbness I'm coming from. I'm not the best when it comes to salary caps and anything like that, but I do think it's going to be a lot of hoops and ladders to get Bradley Beal. And then that second point is, would he fit here? And I think I would, this is going to be a weird answer, but I don't think Bradley Beal would fit here. But I think sadly, or I guess in some people's minds it's a good thing, but the NBA nowadays, you just get as much talent as you can on one team and you have a strong chance of being good. Now I say strong chance because there's a lot of teams that are showing that that isn't necessarily the case. The Sixers, the Nets, hell, the Lakers started to flop this year, barring injuries, everything like that. Like, yes, there's plenty of teams that you get a bunch of talent and it's like, oh my God, that just does not work. But when we look at these teams, James Harden's on them, Kyrie Irving's on them, LeBron gets injured, AD, Russell Westbrook, like these stars that you put on the team that already have these sort of, I don't want to call them off-court issues because they're not off, they're like on-court issues and problems. So, I do still believe, sadly, again, because I wish that, it is more parity in the NBA, which we do have a lot of nowadays. But as of, the last few seasons, we have not. I do wish we had more of that, but I do think that the NBA right now is you get a bunch of stars and you still have a strong chance of winning. Now, again, Bradley Beal, Jayson Tatum, they're friends. I don't think that they would come here and be a Kyrie Irving-esque type of thing or a Russell Westbrook wrench in the plan, but I do think that he would fit here in the sense of it makes them better, because I think you'd be crazy to say you get Bradley Beal and you get worse. Now, they might have to give up Al Horford. Maybe Marcus Smart wouldn't be here. Derek White, Grant, some draft picks, who knows what. But as long as you were to have, Jayson Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Bradley Beal, and Robert Williams, that four, whoever the fifth starter is, like, oh my God, that is a lineup and a half. Go get some point guard, low-level point guard, whatever it is. That's a good starting five, and I think you figure out your role players from there. So, answer to the first question, I don't think it's that realistic for him to come to Boston. But second question, I think that he would fit here just because he is so talented. He's a scorer. Like, you know what you're getting out of him. And I think we saw at times Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown need a third scorer, and Marcus Smart tried to be that, and it didn't really work for them in the finals here. So I'm on board with Bradley Beal to Boston if you can get it done correctly. I do think that you have to go through a lot of hoops and ladders, maybe lose some serious pieces if you do want to sign and trade. But what do I know? I'm not a GM. I'm just on here with a microphone and a camera giving you guys my take. So let me know in the comments down below what you guys think. Do you want Bradley Beal here now? Are you willing to wait a season? And if he comes here, do you think he'll fit or not? So let me know in the comments down below. And until next time, I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.